Hello everybody, my name is Scatter. Welcome back to Divine Journey 2. So, I think we have enough preparation done at this point that we can kind of rush through the remaining quest lines in Chapter 13 and jump straight into Botania today. So in terms of blood, we have almost 1,000,000 buckets here in reserve, plus these 1,000 buckets, 1,000,000 millibuckets. Plus 640 buckets in here, so well over 1,000,000, over 1.5 million, really. So yeah, it's enough. It's going to be enough to get us where we want to go today, and then that's still, of course, coming in regularly here. So yeah, I didn't actually set up automation for these potions because, well, first of all, I didn't really need them so far. I just wanted to get as many as I could, as many as I needed, rather. But also, I didn't have enough channels on this line here, so I went and made a couple of P2Ps. So then these pretty much full channels are now carrying just one channel back to the thing, and there is almost half of the channels available here, 19 out of 32. So that's all looking good. I can clean this up a little bit too once I can go in there. But in any case, that's not what we're worried about today. We can get straight into the cracked runic plates. Now, the way that you make those is just some imbued slate, some concentrated catalyst, and these defensive and offensive cores, of which I have made. Each one of these takes 10,000 life points, which is going to be very annoying to get before we automate them. I think this is all we're going to need in the interim, so we are going to get that automated soon with the Well of Sacrifice. But so right now we're on 62,400. So we should just be able to go ahead and throw what we need in here. And there it goes. It's pretty slow. It's pretty slow. So in the meantime, I'll grab my bowls of promises that I have here. I have 4. I need to get all these up to strength 3. And that is going to take a little bit of, well, so 5,000 plus 10,000 plus 15,000. So that's 30 plus 20. So 50,000 each. So this is going to take 200,000 blood total, which is not that bad. And the runic plates are going to take 1,000,000 total. They take 200,000 each, which I think is a lot, but we got it, you know? We got it. It's all good. It's all fine. So we're just going to run that through there. And then there's this whole thing we need to do involving the box of eternal closure, vengeance spirits. It's some pretty crazy stuff. I don't really know what we're going to be getting into here, but I think it's going to be kind of cool, honestly. I think it's going to be kind of cool. Now, I did overcraft these, I'm now noticing, because it does give us 3 with the quest line when we get 1, and we need 4 total. So maybe we'll use those at a later time. Maybe not. We'll let those finish up. The cracked runic plates, it's looking like are... Some of them are done anyway. 3 are done. We only need 5 of these. And these are going to be used specifically. The first thing we're going to use them for is the Petal Apothecary from Botania. And then the Ender Crafter, we're going to use that to get into mystical agriculture a little bit. So it looks like we're going to be jumping into chapters 16 and 17 today, which is super exciting. So I'll just finish up these 2 crafts, let them kind of go. This might be already done by now, and it is. So let's just get these promises all cooked up. So weirdly, it seems like the longest craft here was just to turn the filled bowl of promises into the strength 0 bowl of promises, and then increasing the strength is pretty quick. I'm just going to say it. This is a weird mechanic. The fact that you have to make an empty bowl of promises and then a filled bowl of promises and then just a bowl of promises, you would think that would be less full than a filled bowl of promises. I cannot possibly be the only one who finds this a little bit confusing. But that should give us the quest there. And the quest for the cracked runic plates gave us a free magician blood orb, which is nice. I did make a second one the other day, but having 3 is cool because I get 1 to put in the alchemy table, 1 in the system for crafts, and then 1 in the blood altar for LP, which is cool. So now we have to infuse the cracked runic plates. Again, each one of these is going to take 200,000 blood for this craft, giving us, or using 1,000,000 total, which... we do have, I mean, I'm not going to say just barely enough, but we'll be left with, you know, maybe 2/3 in the blood infuser here. So it's a little bit It's a lot. It's a lot, but we definitely have enough. Assuming I looked at this right, 200,000. Yes, man. If at this point we needed more, and I didn't realize it, I would be so sad. But anyway, the next things that we have to kind of get into making here. Well, the first thing we need is the box of eternal closure, and you craft this, and it gives you. It says that there's a vengeance spirit inside, and then you make a vengeance ring and you can see the vengeance spirits. I'm so lost about this whole mechanic, but we're going to explore it together and figure out what's going on. I think we're going to have to kill some of these vengeance spirits. Wow, that looks like not very much blood. But I'm honestly so worried that it's not going to be enough, but I'm seeing the numbers and I know it is. This just holds a lot. So it looks like we have less than we actually do, but here goes. Oh, that hurts so bad. Okay. One more. You could even afford to do another one if you wanted, but you obviously don't. But that's okay. And there's the last runic plate. Blood, I don't know how often we're going to be using this blood infuser after this, because I don't really know what else it's going to be used for, that, especially stuff that uses like a lot of blood, right? But we may want to ramp up the blood production by making more of these pedestals and spike plates. Not quite sure at this point if that's going to be necessary. More insight is going to be needed on that. So we get a free dread crystal, which is a really annoying thing to craft, but I don't really know what we would be using it for at this point. But so we can grab our box of eternal closure, and we can also make a vengeance ring, right? And this is a pretty straightforward thing. Magical core, that's just like the other cores we've been making. Dark power gem block, it's just those. And then you can put that on to see the vengeance spirits. So I'll go ahead and craft up one of these. I don't have enough dark power gems, which is fine because we can just throw some of these in here. That's going to take 64,000 blood. I don't know if I want to use all that up at this stage in the game. But in fact, I have enough in my inventory just to finish this autocraft. So I'll just do that for now. I'm sure we're going to need more in the future anyway. How's all this stuff going? You're making a lot of bottles. You're making a lot of stuff in general. So I'll just leave you to it as long as nothing's gotten stuck. Oh, well, I guess that's the vengeance ring. So the other thing must be done. There we go. Box of eternal closure. So it contains a vengeance spirit. And what is the quest telling us here? By default, it comes with a vengeance spirit inside. Place it down and right-click on it to open it. Shoot it with a focus to trap it inside the box. And we get a burning gemstone as a quest reward, which is used for not a whole lot, it looks like. Passively converts vengeance spirit damage to hunger. Interesting. So I guess we can't see the vengeance spirit unless we're wearing the ring, and it's a bauble. So I will wait until I have the ring to fight it, and we're still working on that. That's fine. And then the other thing that we're going to need here is up into this quest line. We need the promise of velocity. So you can stack up to 3 slots of 4 in a single promise of tenacity. This just, okay, these are speed upgrades for those, okay. But we are going to use them as a crafting component, I believe. Not tenacity, velocity. I need to switch out some of these keyboard switches because they're not, I'm double typing a lot. I could have sworn that I taught the system how to autocraft these things. I meant to. I guess I didn't though. Okay, let me handle that. And then wait for the vengeance spirit stuff to finish autocrafting, and then we can continue here. I actually remember now, I deliberately didn't autocraft these because they seemed pretty easy to craft, but I'm now realizing that that's really stupid because they're used to make one of the reagents. I assume that means I'm going to use a lot of them in the future. So I'm just going to go ahead and autocraft them. And look at this, we're running out of molecular assemblers here. There's 1 slot left in the molecular assembler, so we are going to have to make a new set of assemblers and interfaces, which is insane. There's 32 of those, right? 8 times 4, yeah. There's 32 of those, and in 9 slots each, so we've used up 288 crafting recipes. And that's just like not even the processing stuff, just the actual like crafting. That is crazy. But anyway, the only other thing we need here is another diamond promise acceptor here. And that should be the last thing we need to make our 2. And we need 2 for the vengeance focus. The promises of velocity. I do want to just autocraft the vengeance focus, but because this is an intermediate quest, I will go ahead and just autocraft this part of it first. So velocity. There we go. I already know we need 2. Oh, of course we need 2 of those as well. Well, you just craft 1 for now. What are you complaining about? A copper plate? You are kidding me if you don't know how to make a copper plate. Come on now. Really? That is so crazy. I'm such a bad factory manager. I can't believe I didn't teach you to autocraft. No, of course I had to go put it in the machine. And you need a pattern card. Wow. Well, while I'm here, let's grab this vengeance ring out. Almost out of pattern cards as well. I think I said this in a comment earlier. I was just kind of reflecting on the pack and stuff, and I think even though I'm like pretty solidly mid-game here, and I have played to like the late game of packs like Enigmatica 2 Expert before, like it definitely feels like I've done a lot more in this pack than I have in those packs. Like it's just completely insane. This pack makes you do... I don't even know how to explain it. Like I don't know why this pack seems as like so much more advanced than some other ones, but it definitely does. But man, it's pretty crazy. Okay, so before we can really do what we need with the vengeance ring, kill it with a piercing vengeance focus. What is piercing? Why does it need to be piercing? Because this might just be a regular one. I'm really not sure about this, but what I am sure about is that we need the vengeance focus before we can kill the vengeance spirit, right? So I'll go out here to somewhere that's relatively open, throw this down, not open it yet, because I am worried about it. We'll get the vengeance focus made up first, and then subject ourselves to that. All right, the first velocity orb is done. Not much we can do with this other than finish the quest, but I do regret to inform you that we are actually at this point almost out of blood. 64 buckets. And it is still, you know, going up pretty steadily, right? So it's not the end of the world, I guess. But I'm just really hoping at this point that there isn't something I didn't notice that meant that we were going to need more blood than we actually did, because that would be embarrassing and pretty awful, I think. So, we have the promise of velocity, and we get 4 empowered Restonia blocks from that, which is pretty cool. And now we can make a vengeance focus as soon as the other one gets made. So this is, you know, not too hard to make that we have the other thing now. We do need a vengeance ring to craft this, so I'm wondering if we need to make another vengeance ring. I think I'll see about that before making another one, because honestly, if we do need to make another one, I can't without waiting for more blood. So maybe, I mean, it says that you can't see them. Oh, they'll constantly spawn around you. Yeah, okay, that's definitely not what we want. Okay, yeah, I think it'll be fine. So we should be able to see the one that we release from the box and then capture that with the focus. So shooting it won't kill it, but it will weaken it enough that a nearby open box of eternal closure can suck it in. Okay. And then what is all this amounting to? So I know the Ender Crafter, right? So we look at the Ender Crafter. What does that need? Ender Ingot. The Ender Ingot is made with blocks of Ender, and these are just straight up craftable. The Orbis Terrae. So you have to have an Enderman in it. Huh? How does that work? Okay, before we actually do anything here, I definitely need to look into how this works because I'm not screwing this up. I mean, it doesn't seem like the box is going to be one-time use or anything. But, man, and you need that every time. Okay, there's no way that uses up the box, right? If this uses up the box to get 9 ingots of this and you have to, like, put an Enderman in it every time, that is going to be completely insane. There's no way. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I guess we might as well start auto-crafting the other stuff we need for Orbis Terrae and 4 lithium ingots, which we should have some lithium ingots. Yeah, we have plenty. Orbis, let's go ahead and get you 4 of those. So you should be fine to make that. LP is pretty low. We're probably waiting on that for a craft here. Indeed we are. So I'm going to have to go do some more self-sacrificing. And then we can go ahead and get the vengeance focus made. Oh, okay. I just offhandedly killed a zombie, and now I'm seeing the vengeance spirit. I assume that's because I have the vengeance ring, but... So I guess if I had the focus, I could shoot it with the focus, and then if there was an open box nearby, I could put it in the box. I'm going to go ahead and put the ring away for now. I really don't want you to mess with me while I'm trying to do some stuff here, but I'm still not sure. Apparently, you don't need the ring in order to do this, so I may just craft the ring into the focus and then not worry about having a second one. However, I wouldn't be able to see the spirits, so I guess I need to take the box to the end, kill an Enderman near it, open it, kill an Enderman near it, and then shoot the spirit, which I won't be able to see, but it will still be there apparently until it gets in the box. Alright, I guess let's give that a try. Okay, before I craft this ring into the focus and lose it for the foreseeable future, I am going to go ahead and open up this box to let the vengeance spirit that's currently in there out. And that looks pretty harmless. Okay, so you're out of the box now. And then, as I understand it, I could put you back in, but I don't want to do that. I want to... Okay, so you're gone now. You hit me once, and that was fine. This does take a pick. Okay, so the box is open. Contents empty. Good. So now I can throw my ring back into the system to use to craft the Vengeance Focus. And I did just leave this auto-crafting for a while, so it shouldn't have much longer to go. Just a couple of cores, a couple of essences, and that's fine. And then I'll clear out my inventory a little bit, and then I'll go to the end and see what's up. All right, and here's our focus. And really, I should have tested this a little bit. So this... Ooh. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, I guess armed with the 2 of these, we can use it on the Enderman. And again, oh, I'm told somebody in the Discord said that they did this with just a focus and the box, no ring. So hopefully I can trust them. Trusting strangers online is definitely a good idea all of the time in every situation. But, I mean, at least the worst that can happen here is I need to wait for a little bit more blood to generate. But anyway, let's see if this works. Alright, well, the Ender Dragon still running around here is definitely a bit of a pain. So I think I'm just going to... Well, I'll kill one for now for an Ender Pearl or 2, which may end up being kind of annoying in itself. Okay, I'll grab one from this Ender Lily. And then I'll just head to the other part of the end. I hate those end ghasts, too. I don't think that's actually what they're called, but... They're just really annoying. They're so loud! It's... What are you so mad about, man? At least you die in one hit. Okay. Let's see if this works. So, step 1, put down the box. Step 2, I think kill an Enderman. Yeah, because that doesn't seem to be doing anything. Okay, you're dead. Oh. Do I have to keep shooting it, or is it Is it on the way? I mean, there's something in there. You are so annoying. Contents empty. Okay, so that didn't quite work. Okay, so I can't right click it to close it or anything, so I guess it would just close once I'm done with my task here. The edge. Man, what an annoying mob. Oh my god. The knockback. Oh my god. You suck so bad, man. I mean, so do I, frankly, for taking so long to kill it, but anyway, not important right now. You go. Oh, it's in. It's in. I guess it's in. Contents Enderman. There we go. /home. Let's go. Okay. Well, that was... I'm not going to say it's easier than I thought. However, definitely not quite as annoying. So let's take the 4 of these, and I swear to God, if this uses up the box of eternal closure, how in the hell are you supposed to automate this? Oh my fucking God. This is not gonna go well in the future. You better not need this for like anything else. Okay. You need it for enhanced ender ingot. This looks like a much later thing. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a much later thing, but we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. But you know what? No, because it's nothing repeatable, right? So unless the nuggets are used for something. So we need 1 ender crafter. Maybe we'll need more for automation. I think we need 1 ender alternator. And they were smart about it, right? Because we need 4 for this and 5 for this. So we only need to craft this once, right? For the enhanced ender ingots. Yeah, and like nothing else, right? For the enhanced ender ingots, I think we also only need 9. So we need 2 for this. And maybe Poppet of Spirit's Bane. Is that even something we're going to need? 2 for that. 1 for this. 4 for that. So yeah, we only ever need to make this twice. So the mod pack designer, I think, was smart and nice about this, which I'm very thankful for. But there is a quest for this that I will not catch myself dead missing, because that was a lot of work. We get a Promise of Tenacity 3, and I don't think they like stack or anything, so I don't know what we're meant to use that for. Maybe a second blood infuser, but the idea of needing that is crazy to me at this point. So kill an Enderman and have him spawn a Vengeance Spirit, use the Vengeance Focus and a box to trap him to make a block of Ender, which we have done. And now we need to make an Ender Crafter and an Ender Alternator. The last crafting, asterisk, not actually the last crafting. Extended use may cause excessive particles. Oh, interesting. Okay. And another Dread Crystal. What are these going to be for? Because I know I've used them already. Digital Miner we have. Weak Blood Orb we're not going to need any more of. Blood Altar? I mean, we're not going to need another Blood Altar. Well, I guess we might. Blood Extractor? Yeah, I don't know why it's given that to us. Weak Blood Orb? I mean, it doesn't get used up in any of these recipes, so it's an interesting reward to give at this point. But anyway, enough dilly-dallying here. Let's go ahead and craft up some Enhanced Ender Alloy, which I think I have some in the system already. I have exactly enough with 5, which is crazy. I need another basic crafting table, and I need a power core. Power core, and you're missing your aerogel, and you're missing a potion of strength, which I can just go grab and then get that crafting. Okay. I think we can actually do it. I think we can make our Ender crafting. There's our Ender Alternator. And there is the Ender Crafter. Wow. I got really scared because I looked up how to use this because I don't think I've ever used this item before. I do have like a vague recollection of using it late in Enigmatica 2 Expert, but it's not something I remember super well. But I got super scared that it was like a pedestal type system where I would have to make one for each like ingredient I would want to use for the crafting. But then I was like, did they really make me get that many ender things? Like the thing with needing exactly 9 worked out so well. But no, it's just the more ender alternators you have, the faster the ender crafting goes. So it's like they really want to make you work for speeding this thing up. And I think it's powered. Not 100% sure, but the first thing that we're going to want to do with this is definitely the Petal Apothecary. And that just needs our 5 clean runic plates, a Tempest Core, and any petal from a Botania flower. So I don't know if I have... I don't even know how to make Tempest Cores. Excellent. Well... Use your Magician Orb. Now you know how to make them. And this is a solid use for our very last molecular assembler slot. I did go ahead and make another set of assemblers and interfaces for this. So we'll go ahead and get a second one of these set up just as soon as we need. And I mean, I might even move, like moving them is such a pain, but I may actually do it because I don't know. Maybe I won't move that one. I'll just start the new collection somewhere else because having them set up on P2Ps is definitely going to be nice. Yeah, I might just embed that like in the wall back here or something. We can have these going all the way back here and then these going all the way back alongside them. Something like that. Something like that. We'll get it figured out. But for right now, we want to get into Botania, right? So Tempest Core. There we go. You need aerogel for that as well. And I knew there was a reason I should have just made some. Make 10. Yeah, the fluid things here, definitely a good plan, I think. They're pretty fast, too, even without any upgrades, so it's not even like I would have to worry about that. The export bus could be a little bit faster. I think the water one is fine, but the lava one could definitely be a little bit faster, but it's okay. Okay, I'll go grab the aerogel, get the Tempest Core, and then finally get this set up. And there's the Tempest Core. And we're finally ready to do this. The Botania petals you just get from crafting any of the flowers. I picked the only one we had 2 of because I think you can use any color for this. And what's the shape here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there it goes. It is very slow, but you can bet that until and if and until I get better automation for some of the ingredients used here, I'm not going to make another ender alternator. That is plenty fast for me. The fact that it's happening at all, I'm totally satisfied. Like, tell me I'm not the only one who thinks this chapter 15 was completely bonkers. Like, that was just an insane amount of work and like manual stuff. Like, they really make you do a lot before being able to automate stuff. Like, I mean, even the blood, you need a fair amount of it before you can automate this stuff. And then if you want to get more of the spike plates, it's insane too. Yeah, I can't automate. I don't think I can automate LP yet. Maybe I can, but even if I can, then like you still have to use it a lot before you can automate it. Same with the will. Like, I think will automation is like chapter 18 or something like that. Like, you know, I'm not saying it's balanced poorly or that it's bad design or anything. I just think it was bonkers. That's all I'm saying. It's just bonkers. But in any case, that is going to be Botania. And then we're officially into chapter 17 with the Petal Apothecary. And we get some essences as a reward. I'll just leave it because I'm not sure which one we'll need or which one's going to be the hardest to make. I know they're the ones we made before, but I still don't know that off the top of my head. Yeah, so I've used this before. You just put some water in it. You might want to immediately automate this. Interesting advice. So drop a water bucket on it to fill it. Filter empty buckets on a vacuum chest to pick it up. Then dispense the required colored petals for a Botania flower petal. A formation plane with a small subnet is perfect for this. Well, I would probably use ID over that because that seems a little better. but we can go ahead and make the pure daisy, and this is with Fey crafting. Now, I was looking at this too. The runic crafter is the way to automate the Fey crafter, but we actually can't make it because of modularium. We need some stuff from Botania before we can get into that Terra Steel, Elementium, and Mana Steel. But once we get that, maybe it'll be a good idea to get that automation set up. And then at Endoflame, they generate mana for Botania, right? So let's see how to make this. Petal of the Inner Flame. So that's some stuff in the Petal Apothecary. And then some of our essences and reagents from the last chapter, and that's also in the Fey Crafter. So that's really cool. I think, yeah, so same thing here. I think we can go ahead and get started. I don't know if we're going to like make this right away. Maybe we can like get this automation set up. Probably want another unending bowl. And to that end, I think I'm going to automate the pyre again, because needing some of that charred stone to make the unending bowls in it. There's at least two. Like I've just been using this big tank of water. That's going to run out. I'd rather have that be an unending bowl, but yeah, so cool. I'll do that, and then we'll get the Petal Apothecary set up, and then also we might as well start into chapter 16 as well with the tier 1 seed from Mystical Agriculture, which is going to be, I'm assuming I don't get to actually complete this chapter until like the very end of the mod pack, but it seems like the kind of thing that just working our way through as we get there is going to be pretty beneficial for us. So definitely not going to sleep on that either. Okay, so if the Petal Apothecary is something that we're going to want to automate, then we should probably set it up nearby our other machines, even if that is a tiny bit inconvenient because it doesn't need power. I guess that it doesn't mean it's inconvenient just because we're not using a convenience that we happen to have. So let's try Unending Bowl, Fluid Conduit. Are you able to be pumped into? Not from the side. I can't put anything there at all. I have a feeling you're able to be pumped into from the bottom. Don't take that out of context, please. So, no, it looks like no. I guess maybe we do just need the dropper, which is a little bit annoying, because apparently it just works by dropping buckets of water. My game has crashed. Okay, let me remedy this. All right, I'm back. That was a little bit annoying. I'm going to make something that's going to be pretty handy going forward in Botania. The flower pouch. Looks like they made it pretty easy to make, which is nice. It's just some wool and a petal. So this flower pouch, basically you can put all of the Botania flowers in it. Unfortunately, not the tall ones, and I do find that's a little bit annoying. But the main reason I want it is just to make sure that I have enough of every flower. Well, I say enough, that I have at least one of every flower before I go ahead and use them up, because the way you can kind of sustain these flowers, right? And I'm glad to get another magenta one because I did have one and then I used them all up. I think these go directly into the pouch when you pick them up as well, which is nice. So now I'm only missing yellow and brown. And on some mod packs, there's my brown. On some mod packs, they do spawn in the world, but this one they do not. And it looks like I'm going to have to make some more floral fertilizer to get this yellow flower. And am I actually going to need the yellow flower for anything now? Yes, of course, that's the one that I don't get. So I'll make up some more floral fertilizer. And it's not too bad to make. It does use up LP, which is at this point is a non-renewable, not non-renewable, but not automated resource, which is a little bit annoying. But I'll just show you quickly the sort of process, at least the process that I have for generating these flowers, right? So you take a flower, and I'm going to take one that I have a lot of, like white, right? So the regular flowers you craft into petals. You can then plant the petals, and you can barely see it, but it does. I mean, the particles, not that you can barely see it. Well, sometimes they're hard to see because they like fade in and out like that. But anyway, they're there. I believe they do grow on their own to the regular flowers, but you can just bone meal them into the tall flowers. And then the tall flowers you can break. And I'm remembering now that you need shears to do that. So I'm glad that I left at least 2 instead of just 1. So I'll go ahead and use these dark shears because they're what I have. I imagine they'll still work. But I'll grab my last remaining white flower, white petals here, bone meal, and then shear, and then you get the tall flower. And the tall flower, like I said, can't be stored in the stack, but they do craft down into 4s. So if you care enough to, you can quadruple the amount of petals you have pretty easily. So using that method, you pretty much never run dry on any type of flower. And then I guess I'll just use this flower pouch to make sure that I have a sort of backup in case I ever lose a certain color of flower, because ideally you won't have to deal with floral fertilizer ever again. You would just kind of self-sustain the flowers that you do have. And then as long as I can get a yellow one here sometime soon, that will be the case for me, but it's looking like I'm getting supremely unlucky. There we go. So now we have at least one of everything. And even though using this now is going to make it so that we don't have a backup anymore, that's okay. I mean, you don't really need to have them in the sack, right? You can have them in your ME system. It's just easier to see at a glance that you know for sure you have at least one of everything. But with that, let's go try out the Petal Apothecary. So the first thing we're going to be making with it is petals of the daisy, right? So these are used to make pure daisies, which is a crafting mechanic in Botania. And so for the Petal Apothecary, so that's 3 whites and 1 yellow. It did definitely say throw a water bucket in. And indeed, that is how that happens, which is interesting. And then you throw the other stuff in 2, 3, and then 4. And then you throw some seeds in, right? I am remembering this now. You throw some seeds in. May have to get a wheat farm set up for these seeds. Both for this and for mystical agriculture. Not sure how many plain seeds we're going to need for mystical agriculture, but we are going to need quite a few for this. And then that just pops out. So we're going to have to use like a dropper, I guess. Maybe I'll do that with ID, because we do have to do the bucket first for sure. I don't know if there's a way to guarantee that with a dropper. But at the bucket first and the seeds last, and then you need something to pick it all up. So I will suss out an ID setup for that between episodes, I think. But I think that is where I'm going to leave it off for today. We'll just make this other petal that we need. So that's where I'm going to leave it. We made some cool progress today. Finished chapter 15, which was kind of a long time coming, I think, but definitely glad to be done. But it's done now, and I shouldn't have to deal with chapter 15 stuff for a while. I definitely am going to have to get LP automated here. I'm going to have to get Will automated for the Hellfire Forge as well. But I think there are quests for that later on. At least one of those there is. And so it's kind of across that bridge when we come to a thing. For now, we can focus in on Botania. And I've heard Botania has some really, really useful stuff. And mystical agriculture certainly does as well. So I'm seeing good times on the horizon. But for now, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.